What up, gang? How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully you guys are doing good. How's my volume tonight, guys? Just checking in. Perfect. Great. Excellent, guys. I'm just trying to, for some odd reason, I'm able to share everything else except for the screen that I'm trying to share with you guys right now, so give me a second. Just dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties, gang. All right, there you go, guys. That just took a little while. Hey, all right. I'm going to go through the chat here, guys. Welcome, man. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We're going to get obviously into this as usual here. Just going to say hi to the gang here. Trade Wab, Ron. Good to see you guys. KG Trade, Bay J, Tony, 50. What's going on? Hey, Johnny, Baljit, Gandhi, Alad, Jason, Kond, Tuckalus, Malik, China Breeze. Eog, what up, Renati, SENG. Good to see some familiar guys in here again, as always. Were you guys able to catch the opening longs on VNQ today? I was actually in a one-on-one with a student on, I think, Friday evening, and I was talking about how, like, after a big push down like that, I'm expecting some move up off the open, right? And to catch that. Generally speaking, when we have that big of a pull down, I actually am looking for like a much larger retracement. Now, mind you, I don't want to sound like the 400 point move up is not considered a good retracement, but generally speaking, I'm looking for like that slow grind back up. Essentially, is what I'm looking for, right? So, we'll dive into the charts a little bit more in a bit. As usual, I'm just gonna type the stuff out. 250 thumbs up on stream. 50 gets the 50K giveaway going. All right, and then I'll usual just gotta type out some guidance for some of the new welcomers here in the group. NQ and GC chart review at 10:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm looking forward to going over the chart. I hope some of you guys also caught the trades over New York. I know on Friday it was a big meltdown, but believe it or not, there were still a very key opportunity. I'm kind of curious if those who are on the last stream remembers what trade I'm talking about, but there was a long setup. In spite of that major pull down on Friday, there was a long setup. So I'm kind of curious if anyone caught it actually. You guys know the assignment for those who are regulars here. Let's get those thumbs up rolling now. All right. What up, Armani? Good to see you, man. A lot. I took a trade earlier on, actually, on the NQ. Was it on the NQ? Hold on. I now have to look back at my... What did I do? Was it the NQ? I think I took the NQ. No, I lie. I took a gold trade earlier, actually. I'll talk about the gold trade later. But yeah, I'll go with that in a bit, guys. Nice, Robert. 22 points on ES. That's big money right there. Good work. Caught the buy around 1 a.m. I'm not too sure what your time... Oh, I'm assuming you're Eastern? No. Junior, I'm not too sure what your time zone is, so I'm not sure 1 a.m. what that was, but if you caught a nice long on it, great. That's good stuff, man. Yep. Gold on shorts, man. Vernati, are you talking about the New York session? Or are you talking about today's session? Friday, you did a 6R short. Yeah, man. I mean, that was a beautiful downward move. Whenever I see days like that, I'm always very curious about what Stock Market Wolf did, because I know a lot of those kinds of setups really fall right into what he looks for in his trades. So I don't think he's posted about what he did. I know he had a good day, but I'm not sure what he ended up posting about though. David McGalligan's yeah, I do think NQ is, in the end of the day, larger time frames, I don't think we are completely going to melt off. Not just yet anyways. We'll go through the chart review in a bit, though. What's going on, Hassan? Good to see you, man. Jerson, what up, my man? What up? Mickey, good to see you, man. Do you trade Lucid Pro or Tradeify growth account? Hope you're fine with it. I'm assuming Trade WAP you're asking, which I prefer, because obviously I'm capped out with them, so I can't trade either. I would say growth account, just because I don't like the daily loss limit that comes with the Lucid Pro accounts. So if I were to weigh it, I say like Lucid Pro has it has the daily loss limit, which sucks, but it gives you much bigger of a payout capability. Tradeify Growth has no activation fee, and the rules are fairly lenient, I would say, with no daily loss limit. At least I don't think so, unless something has changed in that regard. So I kind of favor Tradeify between those two specific accounts. Generally, I'm more of a Lucid guy over Tradeify. But if you were to pick those two accounts, I would pick the Tradeify one over the Lucid one. My personal opinion. Zio, man, I'm going to go into the chart review in a bit here, man. Hang tight, okay? In about 6 minutes, I'll go through the NQ trade review. Mickey, all right, man. Just keep patient. Don't psych yourself out. You got this, my man. I believe in you, man. I believe in you. Yeah, if you hesitate on those longs, man, that's totally fair. Can we test Friday's lows? Friday's low on the NQ, I presume. Is that what we're saying? I mean, technically, we already did that, right? Well, sorry, I guess, no, you're right. We haven't yet. Yeah, it's possible. Sorry, I was looking at the chart and I was thinking that was part of Globex, but it wasn't. That was just, that was Friday. What's going on, Preppy? Oh, Garrett. Okay, so when I was trading with Tradeify Growth, because actually most of my accounts that I use to get my $100,000 payout with Tradeify was actually through growth accounts. So they did not have daily loss limits back then. So that's new. Thanks for clarifying that, Garrett. I appreciate it. What up, Adam? Big boy. Weekend's good, as always, man. My weekends are so busy, too, because like my Monday to Fridays are like unbelievably packed. You have no idea how packed they are. And then when I come out of them, I'm just playing catch-up all weekend. So, yeah. It was, but it's good. No complaints, man. Oh, the Acura Integra, it's a wonderful car. I'm gonna wait until I clock 5,000 kilometers on it before I start like ripping it a new one, but it's good. I love getting back into a stick shift again. Feels so good. 331 away from my TPD buffer. I've been doing pretty good about it managing the intraday challenge. Hey, Johnny. Nice, man. Nice. Keep at it, man. No matter what you do at this point, don't suddenly have the urge to do those crazy stuff what we do to ourselves, right? Don't sabotage yourself, okay? You're doing good work there. Keep it up, man. Demud, good evening, man. The back road bandit. What up, Marks? Cheryl, a 19. I just want to double check that's not a typo. Are you actually referring to the 88 Acura, or are you talking about the 98 Acura? And I only asked because the 98 Acura Type R was a very synonymous one. It was that yellow one. It was the 98 to 2001 Integra. I think that was the one with the B18 C7 in that Integra Type R. What up, Trading Bot? Hey, you got the short to VWAP. Nice work. The 88. Okay, cool. Just want to confirm. Yeah, man. I love my JDM cars, man. I love my JDM cars. Just as we're waiting to roll in here, guys, I guess just welcome to Project 365 for those who are newer here. My name's Alan. I'm Azheng Trades. I am the pre-London host. One of 5 hosts at that, right? But this is my session 5 days a week. A lot of the regulars here know that, we'll talk a lot about charts. We'll talk a lot about life. Hopefully I'll be able to provide some insight into helping you guys really manage yourselves, If we can catch some trades tonight, we'll do that as well, absolutely. I have the slower session, so I usually will have the opportunity to answer more of those questions that sometimes on the other streams you might not be able to get answered because of how crazy those market sessions are. I'll switch over to the FF indicator as well. We're kind of going over it. You guys kind of know what I'm talking about this from before, right? Like, this is that trigger line again that we talked about where we had that nice break beneath the trigger line. We retested it and by the way, this is the NQ chart, and we've just kind of held beneath it the whole time. So very, very nice in terms of how we're leveraging that. And I'm only bringing this up because there's been a few times where you guys have asked questions about like what it is and how it works. Same thing with here where we're like getting this kind of like a 1, 2, 3 to the downside on gold. That's a 5-minute trigger line, but overall some really nice moves so far. We'll switch over to some EDM music for now. We'll switch back to Naruto music later on. You owned the car in the early 90s. It's good, man. It's a good car. Uchiha Trades. Yeah, not too many people will remember that name. Max pay my Fund of Futures Pro account. Futures Pro account. My max payout. Darkfield, you're about to get a max payout on your Funded Futures Pro account. Are you talking about my Funded Futures Pro account was 100K? Are you saying that you're about to take a 100K payout? Is that what you're referring to? Or is that a 100K account? Just because you said max payout. Because if it's like 100K, man, that's freaking sick, dude. Tran, thank you for tuning in, man. Zach, payout preference for me personally, I like Wise. With Alpha Futures, I go Wise. Good to see you, 44. Appreciate it a lot. Preppy, the futures forecaster, it is actually paid. It's a custom made one. You can always test it out for free though. Like they do like a 10-day free trial. That would be kind of the best bet to give it a shot to see if it's worth your while. It's in my Instagram actually in the link tree, so you can probably access it through there. Rye guy, what up, man? Ben, good to see you, man. Nicola, Jerry, what's up? What's up? Darkfield, I am so pumped for you, man. That is freaking amazing. Let's give applause, man, for Darkfeed, man. That's insane. 100K payout with my Fund of Futures, man. That's huge. Good for you, man. Those pro accounts, man. If you've got the skill to manage your tilt, manage your position sizing well over the course of time, those can be life changing. You guys remember last stream I talked about my 50K my Fund of Futures pro account that I traded with a couple months back. 14 days and I racked up 40 G's on that account, right? So, and that's a 50K account. That's not even like the bigger ones, right? So, it's amazing what you can do with those accounts. But again, you can't be too greedy, and you have to also understand where your skill level is so that you kind of know how to manage yourself best, right? But that's huge, man. Congratulations. So proud, man. Max payout really depends. The terminology of max payout, Jerzen, depends on the prop. What the dark-fied guy, or dark-fied dude, with the MyFindy Futures Pro account, there is actually no limit. The limit is basically the prop firm's limit. So, you know, with other accounts, you might have to go through multiple payouts to get there. But with the Pro accounts, you can actually just round it up all the way to the max you can. And with MyFindy Futures, 100K is the max. So it depends. But yes, generally speaking, when I say that you can max out with Pro or max out with any prop firm, you'll either be moved live or you can't trade with them anymore. It's either or. In my case, it's usually I can't trade with them anymore because I can't move live where I am. Zach, Wise is just a payment portal. That's the option. So it's kind of like Rise. Wise, Rise. There's a few different kinds. Hey, Keki. What on, P1? If it's time for questions, why I'm doing really good on paper and once it comes to email funding. Yeah, it's totally, you know, Adam, man, that's totally a mental game, man. The labels that we put on these things really hurt us. You know what? And I want to say too, as we're giving a lot of, like, you know, applause to our man there who's getting that max payout, just make sure we are all in our own lane. And I can't emphasize that enough, right? Remember that comparison is the silent killer. Don't let someone else's success make you feel less of yourself. Don't let someone else's success drive you to execute on poor behavior. Someone's success should simply just be an inspiration, right? It's an inspiration to do better. It is not meant to make you feel shitty about your trading. It's not meant to drive bad behaviors out of your own trading. Just remember that, right? So we give shout out to our man there, but don't let yourself do bad things on the market, because that's not why we're doing what we're doing here. And I'm sure you guys, those who are experienced enough, will agree to my testament of that comment. Three Lucid Pro funding accounts. What would you suggest the quickest, efficient way to hit full payouts on each? Legacy, man, I think that I understand where your question's coming from with that one, but it's probably the wrong mindset to have about your quickest way to get the payout. It's what the chart offers you, right? There are some days like Friday, New York session, where it just gives it to you so seamlessly, right? But there are going to be days where you're not going to get the cleanest price action. So I wouldn't want you to wrap your head around that thought process all too much. Just be respectful of your size, because with pro accounts, Lucid Pro accounts, you have daily loss limits on those, right? So just tread carefully on those, man. Weekend was good, Solar. Am I a raver? I'm not. I enjoy EDM music though. Jake, you know, the question about why do people avoid live, you know, I think that's obviously very dependent. I don't avoid live, I just can't move live. There's the difference for me. But I know that for some people it's leverage. They don't like that they lose leverage. For some people it's tax reasons. So it really depends on kind of what the reason is with that, right? And some people also know that if they get moved live and they say they blow that account, some of them feel like, oh, well, I might be banned from trading sim ever again. So they don't want to lose that opportunity as well. So I think everyone has their own reason, Jake. I can't speak for everyone, but those are just a few. Partik, what did I get at Oakberry? Oh, I just did their classic, man. The classic with strawberries and banana and blueberries. My kids love it. Morning, Floki. Just taking about 20K pounds since November 25. I feel bummed out about being live. I got those pounds cupping momentum, man. Hey man, Jeremy, man, don't look at it as a bad thing. Moving live is not a bad thing, right? I don't know where you are in the world, obviously, because it might be the case, but yeah, I wouldn't push too hard on yourself on that one. Yeah, it's 10:20. Let's get on the chart review. Thanks for the poke of reminder there, my friend. I will get back to these questions in a bit here. We're gonna hop right into the chart review here, guys. So as always, I am gonna start off with the NQ as the chart review. And if you guys are just hopping in here, I'm going to start off with just a nice welcome message to the gang. Welcome, everyone. My name's Azheng Trades. I am the pre-London host of Project 365. We stream 5 days a week, 10 hours a day, sometimes more than that, depending on the given day. But we're here to connect and chat with the community and hopefully have fun along the way and maybe make some money along the way as well. But with that said, we're going to hop right into this. We're going to go through the NQ. And so what I do every day on every one of my streams is when I hit 10:15, and I guess in this case 10:20, apologies for a little bit of the delay, I go through a chart review, going down from the higher time frames, working down to the smaller time frames. I go over what I'm looking for on the given day, but I also talk about where my analysis from last session played into this current session. And as for those who are newer, just so that you guys know what I'm referring to, because the OGs will remember this, I always talk about how every single session we trade, it builds a story onto the next one. And what I mean by that is that the Globex Open leads into our Asia, into our London, into our New York. And on to the next day, we do the same thing over and over and over again, which is why even if we don't take trades during my session of stream, the things that I talk about will become quite prevalent to us later on in the stream, later on in the sessions, right? And so when we talk about that today, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because one of the things I did mention was on the NQ, I said that I was looking for longs at some point, and I said that even though on Friday we had such a big meltdown, there was still an opportunity. And I'm curious if those who watched the stream last time remembers exactly which point I'm talking about, but we will dive into that in a bit. So we'll go through the larger time frames first, and we'll work our way down here. So on the weekly time frame, you can see here that we just closed out a very harsh weekly engulfing bar that took out the prior 2 weeks, which, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, was it a big sell-off? Yes. When we zoom out though, what is it really doing? Is it really that big of a crash? Not really, right? It's just honestly, if these were smaller candles, if these were like 2-minute candles, you would look at that as a blip in the radar. You wouldn't even think too much of that, right? So it's not to say that we can't go lower. I'm just simply sharing that from a weekly time frame perspective, that could give us an indication that we might have a little bit more pullback before we go higher. But I wouldn't look at that and say, oh my goodness, the sky is falling, the market's going to crash. I would not take it as that. It could be the early indicator for some people. I know that sometimes people will be like, well, this could be the top. I don't know. I don't like to speculate. All I'm saying is that, yes, this weekly bar is quite a bearish one. It could send us on a little bit more of a pullback. But what we always got to have an open mind to when we take a look at both is we'll have a bear thesis and we have to have a bull thesis so that we're kind of prepared to trade either or. And if neither of those theses present themselves, then in that situation, then you just don't trade, right? But that's kind of my thought points on the weekly so far. Now let's move into the daily. On the daily time frame, very similar. I mean, the daily bar wiped out 2 weeks worth. So this looks like a very big bearish sentiment. So if you remember what I said earlier on, I talked about the fact that I'm looking for us to retrace a little bit. And for those who have been on the stream for long enough, you know that although I don't leverage the Fibonacci retracements, I will say that if I were to, the one part of the Fibonacci retracement I would leverage is the 50% retracement spot. I've always found that to be the most reliable one. And so if we were to take a look at it, and I'm just going to mark it out here because I don't want to leave this thing up here. We'll mark this out here and we'll change the color just so that we can see it later on. What color do we want to use for this? Let's go purple. Okay, so 29601, right? 29601.75. So we're going to leave that there, and then we're going to mark and say that this is the 50% retracement. Okay, we'll just keep that there. We don't know if we're going to touch that, but we'll leave it there just to see where we go. If there was a spot of where we're going to move our way up to, I'm kind of looking to see if we end up getting up there. I don't know if we will, but we'll watch it, okay? We'll draw that as the line in the sand there. As we move into the hourly time frame here, let's move this a little bit aside. The hourly candle that we just closed was a bearish candle. So it leads me to believe that looking at this, that we could continue lower here already. And maybe tag the lows before we move higher again, or maybe we continue to break lower. But this hourly candle makes me feel like we're gonna likely go further down from here. I also do like the fact that we are below, that we are below VWAP right now as well. What gets me a little worried right now, and I don't know if this was a news candle, by the way, guys, earlier, but this candle right here was a pretty large reaction, right? And I'm just gonna highlight this because the highs and the lows, within 2 minutes, you can see that this candle went from 29024 all the way up to 29168, right? That was a 140.2 minute candle. I think there's something of interest for us to pay attention to, which kind of makes me think like if we're going to go lower, I'd like to see if we would break this or if we bounce this, right? So I'm going to keep the channel open. So there are two things on this chart review that I'm keeping up right now that has nothing, that's like basically outside of what I've already talked about, like what I have on my chart. So I have AOIs, I have Globex, I have, levels. I have a lot of different things that are on my chart right now, but just in terms of the exercise that we're doing, two things that we're doing together here on stream is that we're going to highlight that news, what I will consider as news or high volume candle, which is drawn channel here, and we'll also have that 50% retracement spot to see if we end up moving back up there on the given day today. Okay, so we're gonna just leave it at that. Now, I did talk about how we did on the New York session. I'm sorry, in the prior session in the day. Okay, so let me just delete this Fibonacci because I don't want this here. Okay, so over the London or the Asia session that we streamed the other day, which would have been around here. So if you, as you kind of saw here, right, over the course of our stream together, we had our move down and if you remember when we opened up the stream, we talked about the double top here, right? The double top right here. And I'm just going to highlight these for some of the newer guys that are on the stream right now. We talked about the double top that formed here. I believe it was MobX and maybe someone else that had caught this double top trade as well, if I remember correctly. But this was a really nice double top continuation trade to the downside. I really like the confluence there that we had with the 200 EMA here as well. But that basically sent us down. Now, if you had missed that, the other one that I had mentioned while I was on stream was the rejection of the VWAP. So once we reclaimed back beneath, that ended up becoming a nice lower high short trade to the downside. So again, for those who don't know, and you guys might be newer on the stream, sometimes I miss a lot of trades. So I don't want you to be like, oh, Alan didn't click buy or sell yet, so I'm not going to click buy or sell yet. In that same regard, if I click buy or sell, I also don't want you to just follow my buy and sell, because you're not here to copy a signal trader. That's not why you're here. You're here to learn. You're here to build confidence, confluence, conviction to what you're doing today already. And so why I say sometimes I'll miss trades is because when I'm focused on explaining and engaging the chat, which is really when I'm streaming, that is my top priority with you guys, is to do that. I might miss setups, but as I go through these chart reviews, I'm also noting places where I would take positions, where I'm looking for a reaction for a trade. So even if I am going through, certain things and, you don't have the, or I don't have the ability to take it, doesn't mean you can't. And I think that many of the OG followers on the stream have taken trades off of things that I've noted, right? So I just want to preface that for the newcomers that are on the stream here. But anyways, a beautiful ride down. And then what did we do after this double top? We also double bottomed down here, right? And that essentially gave us a move all the way back up over the session. So just as obviously during the post session. So after I had logged off already, we had a nice bounce here and we made our highs back. I don't think I would have held the position all the way up here, to be perfectly honest. Again, managing my expectation, I likely probably would have sold off at VWAP is probably what I would have done on this trade setup, which still, again, offered a very good return on the trade. I mean, that was still humbly a 89-point trade, which is like pretty solid. Nice 2.5R give or take trade. Now, let's talk about coming into it. You can see that this channel that I was talking about ended up becoming a key area again. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, right? You got all the OGs, you guys know this by now. When I mark these areas, I mark them for a reason, and they do play out quite well. This channel has been on our chart for a few streams now, right? It showed its representation during our stream together recently, in prior streams as well, and then again when we were hopped off stream, it acted as a good spot over the London session. So this was about 3:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which on the Eastern time, that's about what, 6:30 in the morning. That offered a nice short opportunity again and again, very similar, right? In the same way we talked about how we topped here, and if you missed the top, you could have taken the rejection of the VWAP. Well, guess what we did here? If you missed the top again, you could have taken the rejection of the VWAP. Exact same setup, right? Obviously more time history, so I guess I shouldn't say exact, but you get my point there, right? If you missed the first one because maybe the first setup was too aggressive, the lower high ended up becoming the better setup for us, right? And then coming in down to the downside here on the NQ, we obviously just melted after this, right? This channel here that I have, this was the spot. If you watch the old stream, if you remember what I said, because the levels, I've already updated the levels, so I don't have the same old levels anymore. But if you remember what I said that if we were to lose this, I had a low 30,000 level. I think it was 30,020 or something like that, right? It was somewhere, I think it was somewhere around this area. I'd have to look back at the old video to remember, but it was somewhere in this area, right? I said if we were to lose this area, even though we had other levels in between, I said that there was a double level spot that I was very much looking for, which was within this range here. There was two levels. There was a level up here and a level down here. If you remember this, watch the old stream if you don't remember, because you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But on that double level, that is exactly where we bounced. This long opportunity. So that's what I said, that even though there was a big meltdown on the NQ over the New York session, it gave us the opportunity to have long. And this was still a very solid, like we're talking about 100-some points. Like that's a lot. Even if you were to take a later entry, you still could have gotten like 90 points. Like it's not a small move. So again, even in spite of the bigger meltdown, that was clearly a key spot of reference. And then we had that same key spot of reference later on where we locked in a lower high to the downside. So again, overall, a great melt off. This was the other channel we had on our chart. Same thing again, right? We came down there, we held, and then we continued pushing lower from there, leading us down to the lows here. So I want to highlight that because that right there, this right here, this channel right here, that bounce off New York, that short trade off that channel post right after a few hours of the London Open, those are exactly why, even if we can't trade them during this session, keep notice of them as we go into other sessions, because they will serve a realm of relevance. And although everyone will have their own trading style and trading strategies, I implore you to take a look and review in these and see how these potentially play a form of confluence for you and your specific trade setups that you're looking for. Okay. So anyways, I just want to make sure that I kind of caught that. I'm just going to go through the chat box. So that's, oh, sorry, before I do that. So for the NQ, as I was saying, right, like what I'm looking for right now is we're still holding beneath VWAP. So we look like we do want to move lower here. And if you want to take the short now, I wouldn't blame you for taking it. My only concern is that we may bounce right now. So like if I were to take a short trade right here, put my stop loss above, it's kind of crazy to think that over the Asia session, we already have a 50-point stop loss. The problem is right now is that the risk to reward for me doesn't look great here based on this entry model, because it's a possibility we could bounce at the low of this area. So I don't want to take it for that reason. But if you short it a little sooner, then absolutely. I would definitely, this is definitely something that's worth noting and worth taking, because then the R multiple is a lot more reasonable, right? Like let's just say you do that. 2R would have been very reasonable, right? Off that 2-minute rejection of the VWAP. So anyways, I just wanted to just kind of share that. Like that's what I'm looking for. Now, if we do bounce off this channel here, I'm not going to take a long. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would take a long immediately after that, but I would want to see if we could break and retest beneath before we continue lower. The idea that we could potentially tag the lows of Friday, I think is very much on the table. But we'll have to play it and see what we go. When I'm trading, I'm often looking at these reference points, right? My channels, my areas of interest. That's usually where I like to take my setups if I were to. So being that the 29,113 here, we broke beneath with the VWAP, that's what makes the short trade very valid. And that right there already is a 2R trade right here at this moment in time, right? So nice short trade if it was taken already. We'll see if we hold the channel. If we don't, as we make our way down here, I would watch to see how we reacted to 28,928 area of interest and the Globex opening print, and for kind of like bounce spots, right? That's what I would be kind of looking for at this moment in time. If we were to manage to get longs, I'd like to get us to break and retest back above VWAP again to see if we can take longs. And that's a big if right now, because we might play on the weakness that came from Friday, right? But that's kind of my thought points quickly here on the NQ. I'm just going to breeze through the chat really quickly here, and I'm gonna hop back into doing the gold trade review. So give me a second here, gang, okay? What's good, AXP? Good to have you here, man. Adam, your point and your advice, can you ask me that question again later on? I just want to make sure I get through the gold review. Alad, I'm glad. I love food, man. How long does it take for Alpha KYC? I think last time I did it only took a day. Zach, a day. Do you copy trade one account? If one account, what size do you trade? I always do one account at a time. I don't copy trade. I'm not a copy trade. I am not a copy trade trader. And depending on the size depends on the account. I trade 1 to 3 minis. I don't trade micros. Now, with that said, though, that doesn't mean you shouldn't trade micros. I actually recommend all students to trade micros. Hey, Jay. In terms of me drawing channels and stuff like that, I do them on multiple time frames. I look for support and resistance on different time frames, and that's how I draw my reference points. Hey, Lil Melty, let's fucking go, dude. So happy for you. Furry dude, I just made the same comment. I look for channels. I look at support and resistance flips on every time frame. Yeah, Vernati, the indicator is a little bit different. That's a separate thing. Hey, my bodyguard is on. What's up, man? I know, this is a dim sum shirt. For those who live in Vancouver, these things that I wear with the cute little graphics, they're actually from a local hole-in-the-wall a person who makes them from home. I like to support small business all the time. Nice, BJ. I'm glad you caught the short there on the NQ. Beautiful. In terms of the VWAP, BJ, you said you took a 2-minute rejection off of VWAP first attempt. When you say rejection, are you saying it bounced? Because I only see one rejection of the VWAP. What's going on, Sagar? Hey, ADHD, MM student, gang gang. Good morning, Victoria. Uchiha, OG man, OG. What determines the size of your channels and candle size? So I'll answer this as the last question before I go into the gold chart review. The size of the channel, again, that really depends on your time frame. Obviously, you can imagine that the larger the time frame, the larger the channel is essentially what it ends up becoming. So it depends, right? Like smaller channel, smaller time frame. Larger channel, larger time frame. So, excuse me, depends on what kind of you're looking for in that regard. But yeah, BJ, I'm glad you caught that NQ short, man. You entered at 10:20. Okay, BJ, I'll get to your NQ thing in just a bit here. I just want to go into the gold chart review. I don't want the gang to heckle me for taking too long to get to the gold review, so I'm going to go through that first. Nice melt off here on gold. Don't worry about the chart on the right hand side. I know some of you guys are like wondering why my screen is covering that side of the chart. That side of the chart is not relevant to you guys, so don't worry about it. Okay, so let's hop into the gold breakdown here. So similarly, I've been bearish on gold for a while. You guys know that. I've been saying that every single stream. And apologies for the redundancy, but for those who are newer, they don't know that, so I have to always highlight that. The bear play is playing out, and I do think that we have the ability to make our way down to the bottom. If you guys remember, I referenced that weekly failure to go lower as a point of contention here for us. So I do think we have the ability to come back and tag the lows of that. So let's see if we get that over the course of this week. On the daily time frame here as well, you can see here we've broken beneath that failed to go lower, and that was a point of reference that we had from prior streams. So now I am looking for us to get some follow through down to take the low. So I'm definitely looking for gold to go lower. I mentioned in the Discord, maybe not actually, I don't remember if I did or not, but I am looking for us to move lower on gold. Definitely at like a higher probability of watching it go lower gold than the NQ. I'm not saying the NQ can't short, But if you're asking me which one am I more bearish on, it's gold, not NQ, right? And that's based on larger time frames. And a lot of times I talk about it as well, is that, like, you know, I keep referencing this, and I reference this redundantly because for people who are new or hopping on stream, they might just think I'm making this comment after the fact. And in reality, you guys have, those my loyal followers on stream, you guys have been watching me for going on 9 weeks now. And when we were here, I was talking about the daily range on gold, and I was looking for a breakdown for a move down, and that's exactly what we've got. Now, although we still had some ranging days down here after that first initial breakdown, you can see that we're still continuing to move lower. Structurally speaking, it makes sense for us to continue lower on gold from what I can tell, right? We'll let price action obviously tell us what it wants to do, but that's what it looks like it wants to do at this point in time, right? Going into the hourly time frames, similar to the NQ, the hourly close definitely is already looking bearish, giving us this pull down. Now, how much follow through will we get? I mean, we have 18 minutes left till this hourly candle still. So we'll see if we can get follow through or not. Let's just see what this looks like on the smaller time frame now. So smaller time frame here. So we got, what is it? We had that big move down, and now we got that 2-minute engulf pulling up. I do think that we still go lower here based on what the candles look like at this moment. I'm not sure if news drove this sharp move down or not, but when I'm looking at the multiple time frames, as long as we hold beneath 4336, I'm going to continue to be bearish on gold over the course of this session going into the next session. So as of now, you can even tell the gold chart is just weaker, right? The NQ, at least we had that larger retracement up, but gold has had its retrace up like for that short period of time, and we've come back down since then. And so for me, the line in the sand is going to be that 43.36 area. If we can hold beneath it, I'm definitely looking for us to continue moving lower. Let's see what this retracement up on the smaller time frame does. Like, I don't know if we're really going to get follow through, but as long as we stay beneath, as long as we stay beneath, and I just realized I didn't mark the opening print, guys. Give me 1 second here, gang. Where is the opening print? Opening print. So as long as we stay beneath the opening print, we stay beneath the VWAP, 200 EMA, all those areas, I think we're going to go lower. Like, I'm definitely not looking for longs on gold at any point at this point. If we were to look for longs on gold, it's going to be much further down. Like, I'd probably look at it maybe when we get, I don't know how much lower I'd want to go. Yeah, like I have it all the way down to like the 41.6 area. Like, I'm not saying we're going to go down there tonight. I don't have a lot of, you know, conviction for us to go long on gold in any way tonight. But yeah, so right now we're looking for shorts. We're going to kind of play it on that. I'll let you know if I do enter a position on this. As of right now, I am just going to watch. Not interested in that right now. So this was really interesting, guys. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a signal and sign for us in itself, but look at the way that we just rejected this channel that I talked about earlier. Right? I don't want to chase anything, but just look at that. We said that we want to see if we could break beneath it, and we did. And now we're retesting underneath of it for a short. And so if there was another trade to be had, that is what we would look for essentially here. And a 1R trade would be very reasonable. I think 1.5R is probably be the safest bet here, just because I have an AOI here. I don't know if you would be able to move lower than that. But yeah, anyways, I'll leave it at that for now. I'm just gonna check the chat here, just because I know there's some questions here. Oh yeah, Beijing, 10:24 PST, first attempt, 10:24, 10:24. Okay, got it. So if you got stopped out on that, I mean, assuming that you're taking that on the 2-minute, I can understand. That. I think that's again where I don't know if you got stopped out, but that's where I would say that I would use the VWAP as my stop loss, right? So then that way you still would have stayed in the trade. But I don't blame you for taking that short entry though. But the next one after that, yeah, just gave you even more of a reason to take it. Brunati, the VWAP that I use is just the regular one. Nothing special, man. Hey, John caught the short trade in gold. Nice work. Do you use footprint and volume charts for sniper entries? No, I don't use either of those. Ezrealo, if I'm pronouncing your name properly, I don't use those, no. Chumley. What's going on, Yacht? Good to see you, man. All good, Zach, man. You got your piece of the pie. Shake it off, reassess. You can always find another entry. Magnet trades, you're longing the NQ. Longed NQ should not go below 960. 960. 960? I have no idea where. Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. I don't know if you're in long or you're going to wait for that moment, but. Valima, you know, I don't have really like major resistance spots that I would watch for. Like I have multiple, as you can see, as I work my way down, I have reference points as I work through that are areas that I would watch for bounces. So I would wait for reactions to see if we get follow through on them or not. But you can see them. You can see all the spots on my chart. They're like no secret at all. No secret at all. And you might be like, oh, what are these acronyms and what are these random colored lines? I just differentiate them with different colors so that I don't forget what is what. Otherwise, if I just draw a lot of the same colored lines, it gets really confusing really fast. Sorry, Alan must have missed how you found that channel. You might quickly show me. Robert, the NQ channels are just based on hourly. So like basically sometimes I'll draw channels on our stream and then like that I just leave the channel there if it ends up playing well. But hourly, 4 hour, daily, it just depends on the given session or the certain time frame that I'm looking at when I draw those channels. AOI, not AOY, Zach. AOI is just areas of interest. That's all it is. So like, some people call it maybe point of interest or point of control or something. It's just a spot on the chart that I'm paying attention to. And I separate that because as an MM person, I don't want to mistake an AOI for a level. Good evening, everybody. 1 million long home. Let's go. Nice. Good to see you, Pete. Hey, no problem, BJ. Nice, Jake. Nice work. Marco, good evening. I'm a fundamental trader. When I'm trading the markets, I just look at the technical components of things. I don't care. I don't worry too much about the fundamentals all too much. Yeah, Friday's as low as possible, man. I mean, I don't. Well, we'll see. Learning. AOL. AOL dial-up, man. That's bringing back traumatic memories. And just so you know, Adam, by you referencing AOL, that just dated you, my friend, just like me. The fact that I understood that reference. Big boy, at what point would I be bearish on the NQ? Very, very valid question, my friend. It's going to be... Oh, shit. I just realized I just did that to the wrong thing. It's going to be very much larger time frame driven for me. So as of right now, I would probably say that I would want to break into the 28.6 area. And if we do, I would like to get some follow through down. And if we can do like a flip of a break and retest beneath the 28.608 or 28.541, that's where I would look for a continuation down. But until then, we can trade, we can play with this back and forth, but I'm not going to be super, super, super bearish until we get a clear break of structure on the larger time frames. Sup, Stacks? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, Bookmap, I know there's quite a few people who use it and they find it very valuable. So as long as it works in conjunction, man. I've been trading for 5 years, going on 6 now. You still have your AOL email. Oh, man. I know when you were born, my friend. Yeah, when I'm referencing R, it's R multiple. Risk to reward. 1 for 1, 1 for 2, that type of deal. A lot, yeah. I mean, in terms of did I ever feel like giving up? No, not really, because I never really like sized super heavily, and I've never really tied my identity to just trading. So it was always just that something on the side. So I never really like went full force enough for me to ever be like, oh my goodness, like I've lost so much money, like I'm just gonna throw in the towel. So no, not really. And I think yeah, I think a lot of it's because those two things. I didn't size aggressively throughout my journey, and I didn't tie my entire identity to trading. So um, now that I am where I am, I'm definitely not going to ever quit. Will I trade less? Yeah, I'd say so. But I'll never quit. I mean, I think it's kind of crazy at this point in time, right? Now that I am where I am as a trader, it just becomes crazy to even think about quitting. ICQ, damn. You're bringing back all Leo stuff here. Past that the Asia session your most profitable session. Why is that, you think? So the Asia, that's a great question, right? I think that the Asia session I'm most profitable in because price is a little bit more predictable, and maybe not. Let's scratch that. Actually, I don't want to use the word predictable because we're not here to predict markets. I'd like to say that the price movement on Asia session, although slow, is definitely more digestible to trade versus the New York, where because the moves are so big, you have to size so small, and a lot of times people don't have the patience for that to in order to find success. But that's where, like I always say, like micros can do a lot of damage, man. But I just find Asia session just a lot smoother when it comes to price action. Can I trade one funded account both on my PC and mobile phone? Does it get me banned? I think the device is not the relevance here, Tails. It'd be your asset. So you can't hedge. You just can't hedge positions. Because in theory, if you're taking it on your phone and your PC, it's the same account. So you're really just trading the same thing, if that makes sense. So I don't think the device really matters. It's whether you're hedging or not. Does the war in Iran affect your trading? No, not too much. I mean, obviously, sometimes you get unlucky and you get caught on the wrong side of the tweet, so to speak. That sucks. But I think that we just trade the chart, man. I have no edge when it comes to trading news, so I definitely can't weigh too much on that one. But personally, I would say that as long as the chart's the chart, I don't spend too much time worrying about things like war and what have you to impact that. Christoph, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Doing well, man. Doing well. Hopefully your weekend's good. What is AOL, big boy trading? Oh, man. AOL is OG. That's OG. AOL was like a network service, messenger. Like it was a different time. Let's just say that it was the .com. It was the .com thing that people used. You want to buy direct funded account or funding from TP or Lucid. So Lucid offers a direct funded account, same with Tradeify, but Take Profit Trader does not have a funded account that you can buy. It's eval only. I know that dial-up tone is like forever traumatic to me, man. Can I post my GoFundMe here to get more attention? I'm disabled financially. No, sorry, dude. Not here to solicit, guys. Lucid Direct has a 20% consistency answer for it. What was your aim? All right, what are we doing here, guys? No, Robert, I wouldn't be able to answer that question. Like, whatever I would tell you would be me speculating, so I wouldn't be able to. Did I play Counter-Strike? Absolutely, man. The dust. The dust, man. M4s, Deagles. What's my biggest day profit-wise? I think my biggest day was 18 grand, I think. Let me take a look at my dashboard here. Give me a second here. It would have been from last year, though. It wouldn't have been from this year. My biggest... Oh, no. My biggest day was 24,000. And believe it or not, on that $24,000 a day, the win rate wasn't that great, actually. There was a wild amount of different trade setups that culminated that. I also sized higher. I'm like looking through the trade things right now. I definitely sized higher during that period. I'll show you guys quickly here. That was the 25K day here. You can see here in the win rate wise, it was 68% win rate. So it wasn't exceptionally great, but I was sizing a lot higher during that time though. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. On the West Coast. What's your trade thesis right now for Golden IQ? I literally just went through the trade review, Shars. I'm not too sure if you just logged on or not, but I went through the trade review already. I mean, I am looking for shorts on gold more than anything. NQ, I'm still a little indecisive. Like, could we go lower? Yeah, but I'm not as bearish as I am on gold. Gold is definitely the more bearish object for me to look at here. Yeah, direct accounts have to have more consistency rules because they're giving you basically account right away, so you can get payouts right away. So they do that as a form of balancing it out. How stressful was that day for you? Oh yeah, that was... I don't even remember it. I have to take a look at why the day was as big as it was for me, but yeah, it was kind of crazy. But I caught some those were some big trading days for me though, or not trading days. Sorry, those are big trades that I had caught. Like, I think I caught a few, what was it? I think I had a really long hold on a trade that was 7 or 8 grand. And then the New York session, I had 3 minis on a position and I held that for 4 or 5 hour. Something crazy. It was a crazy day. I do trade the New York session sometimes, but not as much anymore, Taman. Just because I am the pre-London host now, I dedicate a lot of my time to this. And just so you guys know, for the loyal followers that are on here, I will tell you that I will look to expand my hours. I just can't yet because there's a lot of moving parts in my life right now. But my goal is to cover off more of the session, so I can cover off more than the 2 hours that I have today. Maybe in the future, I'll be able to move to a 3-hour time slot, maybe even a 4-hour time slot. So that way we have time to chat, but we also have time to execute trades when London opens and all that type of jazz. Pete, man, we really are going back to nostalgia here, eh? Joel, Priscilla, you're from Edmonton. What's going on, man? I will see you out there probably in the later future here, my friend. Do you just scalp or do you also hold trades for longer? I take what the market offers me, Andrea. So yeah, if I'm trading my funded, I'm very content with just taking my piece of the pie, 2R, 3R, walk away. If I'm trading evals, sure, maybe I'll hold for a little bit longer, just because from a risk perspective, I'm a little bit more tolerant with it. Oh, Monica, you too, eh? I will be, I don't even know what the terminology. I know people call Calgarians. I don't know what, is it an Edmontonian? Is that a word? I'll be one of you guys in the future here. Yeah, I'll work towards that, man. I just got to get my life in order with business and everything else before I can make that call and decision. Solar, are you saying wrong choice is a wrong choice to move? My family are going to focus a lot on traveling here soon, so we want to be there. So if we were to trade structure here right now, guys, we would like for us to see that we hold beneath this if we're trading structure. Solar. My wife has family there, man. My wife has family, so I know. Generally speaking, I know people will say why not Calgary, but for everything that we're looking to do in our life, Edmonton will be the best move for us, for family and for what we're planning to do for our international exploration, let's call it. Market structures make sense, but taking a long when market is continuously making bear structure, how do you do that? What's the edge in that that gives you the confidence? Tails, I mean, in the end of the day, we're looking at larger time frames, right? That's what we'll do it. So NQ isn't on a larger time frame. We're getting a pullback right now, right? We aren't melting just yet. So that's why I'm still open to longs on NQ. Yeah. Ooh, 25k props, Zontana. That's not a lot of risk you have there, man. I mean, yeah, that's not a lot of risk. I guess you can really say like either $100 per trade or $200 at max. You definitely don't want to be pushing more than $200. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Welcome to Project 365, guys. I know we got a lot of you guys here on the chat. Drop a like on the stream, guys. We're about 52 thumbs up away from me doing a 50k rapid account from My Funded Futures. So let's ramp those up so I can get that over to you guys, gang. Oh, I actually like the cold. I'll tell you right now, Solar, -40 in Edmonton is nothing compared to -5 in Vancouver even. Cold in like the prairies, it's just different. It's cold, but the cold in Vancouver cuts deep. And for anyone who lives in Vancouver, I think you know what I mean by that. Like the cold here cuts deep. If we were -40 in Vancouver, I think you'd die. Petros pros, man. Sorry to hear, dude. Sorry to hear, man. That's a big move up on gold. We're testing that area now, the 4336 that I want us to stay beneath for us to have any sense of continuation down. I don't know if we will, but that's what we're looking for. Yeah, big boy. -40 in Edmonton's like a dry cold though, man. It's not that bad. I think, Jay, it's really just a matter of after a 1,200 point move to the downside, a little bit of a retracement up makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Solar. Edmonton's cheaper by like a few $100,000. No, I don't know if we would short NQ just yet. We are holding that structure point that I talked about, though. I can see why you would want to. For those who trade on the 1 minute time frame, this would be our tight risk trade you would take. And it'd be tight risk so that it's like digestible, you know what I mean? So it'd be like, what, a 32 point stop loss? A 2R would be what, 64 points? This is a very high risk short here, to be honest. Just because the my 15-minute and 5-minute time frame doesn't give me a reason to short here, but I want to test this structure point here to see if it follows through or not. And the reason why I'm saying the 5-minute and the 15 don't look good is because we have that 15-minute bullish candle giving us like that pivot spot, and then the 5-minute as well. That's pushing up, but I would like to see if, again, if this is a purely a 2-minute structure hold type of setup, to see if we get it or not. Hey Amber, good to see you, man. No, there's no end for lessons in trading, man. That's the reason why people should never oversize their trades ever. Like you'll see, I've taken losses on stream all the time, and it's like, you just unfazed, right? Because you size well enough so that you know that if a trade works against you, you'll still be able to like get through it. You know what I mean? Like you won't be like, oh my goodness, the sky's falling, it's the end of the world, right? You'll be able to manage that a little bit better. What caused the pop in NQ? House prices are very better than what's your goal on gold wick from 23 March? What's my goal? I'm not really too sure your reference to that, Peter Elias. Yeah, Solar, I don't actually watch sports, so hockey's not really my... I know you think as a Canadian I'd be all over that, but I don't. No lesson, man. Lessons are ending with trading, man. I think you don't ever overcome things. You just get better at managing them, if anything. Oh, Jay, I don't know. I don't follow the news too much. Yeah, the home that I'm looking at in Edmonton right now is like, it's not a, I don't want to say custom because I don't want to imply that it's like some gargantuan of a mansion, because it's not. But it is built with a different spec from the usual cookie cutter templates. We just got to work on selling our place here first in Vancouver. This is a trading space, not a political space. Let's keep that in mind, please. Did someone say something political? Pete, did someone say something political? Did I miss it? Oh, I just realized that. Okay, now I see it. I did not see that earlier. Oh, so the short trade that I was talking about right now, and by the way, this can still fail. So this is where our potential higher low would take place. So I shorted because I drew this. I literally drew it out right before price even went up here. I said that I want to see if we can hold this 2-minute lower high structure. But now we've reclaimed price inside this channel, right? And so if there's going to be a bounce, right, a bounce hold, it would be here. So if we get stopped out, then that's going to be why. And this is that same channel we talked about earlier, right? If you guys remember. So let's see if there's enough strength to bounce back up and take me out, or if we get follow through. Yeah, if you have the blessings to do custom build, man, 100%. Yeah, I don't think anyone should ever, like, to the question asking, like, about my thoughts on selling signals, I don't think that's ever ideal. I know people hate it that I don't signal. I'm just not that person. Like, I don't think it's ever, it does a disservice to anyone who's trying to learn anything for me to just give them what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get to where I am by following someone's shortcuts every single time. I learned the theories, I practiced the application, wax on, wax off, 100 times over. That's how I got to where I am, not just in trading, but in business and my corporate career life as well. So I don't know, man. I mean, to each their own. There's a reason why for me, even from like what I offer as far as services on the trading side, because I focus and specialize more on business than anything an entrepreneur with restaurants. But on the trading side, that's the reason why I offer services when it comes to coaching, like one-on-one, intimate coaching. Or, you know, if I were to do a class setting thing, I've been kind of poking around. I was thinking about doing a class setting thing for donation for charity where like 100% of the proceeds go to a charity. I've been thinking about that. But like, yeah, I generally I will never really sell signal thought concepts. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. It doesn't really fit me in any way or form either. You post all your trades in the Discord. I will post what I can. So like in the Discord itself, because it depends if I'm on the go, right? Like people probably don't realize how busy I actually am. Like I'm honestly always in meetings. Like I'm with a restaurant owner. I'm with maybe talking with a lawyer, an accountant. Maybe I'm talking to the city, the municipal. Like there's a lot of things I'm always involved in. So I can't always post, but I do my best to post when I can, though. Which is also another reason why I say I feel bad if I were to ever sell like that kind of a signal thought process, because I know I can't dedicate my time to it either. Tails, I actually have shared that before. Not that I wouldn't want to do it again, but I almost feel like if I start talking about my life story here, I think people are gonna like, stop talking about this, focus on trading. I have talked about that before. I've come from very little. I'll say that. I've come from very little. I've worked really hard to get to where I am in life today. I'll tell you that. Nothing I have today was given to me in any way or form. Divorced parents, mentally ill mother, low income, poor, not having dinner certain nights, same clothes to school every single day, like all that stuff. Like you would not guess that's where I came from. But that's also the reason why I feel so strongly about coaching and mentoring, because I only got here because someone took a gamble at me. Someone took the time to get to know me. And as I built through that, I was able to then, you know, have the money to be able to then pay for education that I could not afford to pay for before. Those type of things, right? So yeah, man, it's not for the faint of heart. It's hard, but I think that's the reason why I don't believe in shortcuts. I don't believe in shortcuts in life. Absolutely, sure. Yeah, man, 100% BTD. That's what I did. That's why I said right here. That's why I talked about the short, right? Like I'm telling you the risk. The risk is we hold within this channel here on this trade and we bounce and take my stop loss out, or we respect this lower high 2-minute structure and we continue to break down from here. We have this 5-minute bar right now. I'm curious how we're gonna close here. I'd love for this 5-minute bar to close bearish. If this 5-minute bar closes bullish, then I'm likely gonna get taken out, is my guess. Controlled consistency is what I'll call it, Robert. Technically, I didn't take the first couple years seriously, so those are kind of a write-off. But if I were to include that into the tenure, it took me about 3 years to find consistency. I was profitable since year 1, but I wasn't consistent, if that makes sense. Yeah, Sagar, 100%, man. Like I'll tell you that there's a lot of people who wishes and hopes that they could do better in life, but not many people actually act upon it. And it sounds so bad. When I was younger, man, I was all about helping everyone. Like, how many people can I save? How many people can I help? You realize over time that everyone says they want help, but not many people actually show that they actually want help. Because often you'll give them like the key to the Lamborghini, metaphorically, okay? And they don't do anything with it. It's like, I'm literally telling you, I'm giving you the blueprint to get there, yet you still don't do it, which is just kind of wild, to be honest, right? But that is why people are where they are, though. And I feel like I can say that because I came from very little. And I know that it wasn't easy to get to where I am. I got bullied for being poor, like for many years of my life. I got shamed for being poor for many years of my life. So I know what it's like, which is the reason why I'm also big on people who are true champions of what they do will never belittle those who have not achieved success yet. Because those who made it here know how hard it was to get here. So if I knew how bad it felt to get bullied and treat like crap, why would I ever do that to someone else? And that's the reason why I like I said, I believe that championing other people is a very big component for me, and why I will never add to the negativity in the trading space. There's a lot of negativity as it is, man. I'm not going to add to it. Hey, no problem, Hassan. You know what they always say, though, right? You know, um, what is it? Tough times build strong people. Strong times create weak people, and it's the idea of where like, because the strong try to give their legacy a better life, but they don't necessarily give it in the right way, that legacy ends up becoming the destruction of the next legacy after that, right? So I think it's very important for us to always instill values. Like my kid, I like, even though he could have almost anything he wants in the world, I'm always reminding him that be grateful. You know, if he ever says anything spoiled, I always say be grateful, because if there's someone out there right now that would kill to be in your spot right now. And I sometimes, like my kid, like, and I know he doesn't do it intentionally, because you know, when you're young, you don't know anything, right? But he'll say things like, oh, you know, Dad, I don't want to eat this. This is not yummy. And it's like, you say that, but I'm like, do you know your dad had just plain white rice for dinner for multiple nights because that's all we could afford? And you're complaining that your dish is not good enough for you. And so it's kind of like, you obviously try to do your best to give them the world, but you don't do it at the cost of not understanding the values. So a big part for me is making sure that individuals have values that will stand the test of time and perpetual. But obviously, as a loving parent, I will do my best to help them, right? So anyways, now I feel like I'm just rambling, so I'll stop talking about that. Yeah, you know what? I think, Velima, you know what's kind of crazy? And I'll say this, and because so I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started my mentorship, it was very cheap. The cost was very low. And the reason why I did this was because I didn't know if I was going to be a good enough mentor, and I didn't want my student to pay the price. So I charged for a very low price. And you know what I did? I did that experiment. I taught friends how to trade for free. And then I had these individuals who paid, they still paid, but they paid a lower cost to learn from me. Surprise, surprise. The ones who learned for free didn't really do anything with it. The ones who paid for it put much more into it. And even over the course of time, I saw that, which is just unfortunate. But it is the reality that I find that when people are given things, they just don't treat it with the same level of respect. They don't put in the work that they do, which is very unfortunate. I'm not saying everyone's like that, but I've seen this even in the business world, where when things are just handed to them, they just don't have the same level of respect. I don't know what it is, man. It's crazy. Trading Bot Wizard, that's the quote. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, man. Andrea, yeah, it's true, man. It's so unfortunate. Like you try not to be cynical about stuff like this, but it just happens too often, man. Thanks, BDT. And Aman, 100%, man. Or burst pipes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the support, man. Yeah, man, 100%. I will never complain about being hungry and all that stuff, man. You can see where I came from, and that's why, like, having fancy things have never been a priority to me. Like, being able to go out and enjoy delicious food with good company is more important to me than anything else. Like, I talked about this on one of my streams a few weeks back, right? But I talked about the fact that I want to, you know, share the success with my loved ones. And so, you know, I think she's in the chat probably right now. I won't call him out. I don't want to put him on the spot, but you know, I had some loved ones in my life, my direct family, and then some close loved ones in my life. And we covered our entire trip to Disneyland, flights, hotel, food, everything. That, for me, that experience is far more valuable than owning a Lamborghini myself and driving it around, right? So I just, again, different priorities for different people. Not to say that someone who owns a Lamborghini is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, things that's your love and passion, 100%. But for me, if I had $500,000 or $1 million to blow on a car, I would not be blowing it on a car. I would rather do it other things. And generally, people who say they're doing it for marketing is saying that because they're using that as a form to sell whatever it is they're trying to sell. That's what they mean by marketing, right? Personally, for me, I'm not looking for that. Just remember the type of things that you own and you do attract a certain kind of crowd, and that's up to you to decide whether or not that's something that you would want to do, right? I don't like that 5-minute close, guys. I'm probably gonna get taken out here. That 5-minute close is bullish. If I wasn't already in a short trade right now, I would be watching to take a long trade right now. We'll see if we follow through on it or not, though. What's going on, robot? Can we hold? I don't know, man. Looks like it's gonna break. We're 6 thumbs up away on stream to do this giveaway. Let's see if we can hold the gang. This is the moment of truth. Can the 5-minute hold underneath that 20 EMA? If it doesn't, it will probably take my ass out here. Like I said, this 5-minute close, we held above my reference point here at 29.026. So naturally for me, this would be a potential higher low type of deal, but excuse me, sorry. We'll see what we do here. If I get stopped out, all good. Thanks, Shalom. I don't know what an order block is, Jay. I don't trade ICT, so I couldn't speak to that, my friend. Oh, man, my back is killing me. Oh. Chill for a bit. My wife and I are actually high school sweethearts. I've been with her since I was 14 years old. So it's been 20 years. I'd say that I think any advice in relationship comes down to, you know, communication. Anything that makes a relationship last, anything that makes a business run, anything comes down to communication in the end of the day. Same thing, Jay. Those are ICT references, my friend. I don't trade ICT, so I can't speak to that, man. Taman, I don't know if you just hopped from the stream. I did a whole chart review actually on NQ and gold already. And so right now I'm in a short trade on NQ. Was hoping for a 2-minute follow through on this lower high structure, but looks like I'm going to get my ass taken out with this 5-minute fail to go lower though. So like the only way that maybe this invalidates here is maybe if this 5-minute in the next minute and a half actually closes bearish, you know, magnificently. If that's the case, then maybe we'll get follow through on this. We'll see. How did you get over the fear of placing trades with real money? It's confidence and conviction over time, man. I think, Michael, it's about screen time. It's about journaling your trades, collecting data, and then using that data to create, you know, trade plans, wax on, wax off, over and over again. That's really what it takes, right? I mean, I've been doing this for 5 years, right? So, are we doing the giveaway? Oh yeah, I guess so. Are we at we're at 250. Sorry, guys. Thanks for the reminder, by the way. Thanks for the reminder. I will set up the bot now, so give me a second here. I will do the 50K. So this will be for a 50K giveaway, a rapid account with My Funded Futures gang. Just setting up the giveaway bot, gang. Yeah, the gapping up or gapping down, that's like a market price action terminology. So I understand those, but like fair value gaps and like order blocks, those are ICT terminologies. They're not actually market terminologies. TDH, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Hope you've been well. Oh, I got stopped out. So at best we had about a 1R on that trade, guys, just so you guys know. At best we had 1R, but yeah, we wanted a little bit more and we didn't get it, man. We didn't get it. It's all good though. Like I said, that 5-minute fail to go lower we had just now essentially gave us the signal to take me out. So I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Life's been busy as usual, but I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on, man. I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna do the bot giveaway, gang, guys, now. So I'm gonna type it in the chat, or type not in the chat, sorry. Giveaway participation guideline. thumbs up on the stream. Enter, oh sorry, type enter in the chat once for the bot. Let's get this rolling here, guys. We're coming up to the 5-minute trigger line on the NQ as well. Nice push up there. Tagging VWAP now. Holding the 5-minute trigger line as well on the NQ. See if we can get a rejection here if we break right past it. So I will just show you guys again here. We talked about this earlier. We wanted a short. We looked like we were shaping up. We ended up holding my 29026 there. We put in a 5-minute failure to go lower to set up that potential higher low. And now we're pushing. So like I said earlier, right? I was already in my short. We had about a 1-hour opportunity. We didn't take it. I wanted 1.5 at least. Didn't get it. 5-minute bar came in. Made me say it. I said, like, you know what? Looks like I'm probably gonna get stopped out now. If I wasn't in a short already, I would probably be long. And you can see here how well that long would have played out by now. So all is good though, guys. That's just a game of probability, right? It's a game of probability. If you were to been able to take that long, so far we would have been had about a 1.9. Oh no, it would have been about 2R. Because technically speaking, stop loss would be about here. Yeah, we would have had about a 2R trade to the upside. So I don't know if anyone caught that long when I made that comment, because like I said, man, when I was doing the chart review, I said, sometimes you're going to take trades when I can't. Sometimes you're not going to take trades when I am. And so that was an example where, like I said, I was in short. It was shaping up. Didn't get follow through. Trade then changed in terms of potential of the flip, which is why I said if you weren't in a short, a long would be good. So that would have been an opportunity there for the long to be taken from anyone who was in the chat. So we got about just a little under 2 minutes left until the giveaway is going to be announced. I would honestly exit my longs already now. Like, I don't shoot for very, very big trades, at least not over this session. I like that we're that potential higher low. Now what we want, if we want continuation, is we do want to get a break above the 29,113 here that I have and have like a break and retest. That would be ideal. That was a very nice sharp push up. We have less than a minute left, and then we'll be doing this giveaway here, gang. I'm just gonna take a peek at gold. How is gold doing right now? Still holding beneath that area that I talked about earlier. I'd be interested in shorting gold, to be honest. I don't know how much follow through we'll get though. All right, we're gonna announce the winner of the giveaway, gang. Give me a second here. All right, Beauty in My Heart 719. You are the winner of the 50K My Funded Futures Rapid account. Are you here? I need a proof of life to make sure you're here, my friend. And Kubko, yes, I am here 5 days a week, pre-London, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time till midnight. This is my time slot. My name is Azheng Trade, and I am the pre-London host of Project 365. Hey, Beauty in My Heart. All right. DM me on Instagram, and I will send you the code for the account that you just won. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Beauty in My Heart. Just want to make sure you got my message. Reach out to me on DM on Instagram. Just want to make sure you got the message. Just comment in the chat so I know. Beauty in my heart. Beauty in my heart. Just want to make sure you got my message. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing, man. I don't wanna wake up your entire family with this horrible sound. Am I gonna get toyed with on this gold trade, or am I gonna get what I want this time, huh? You don't want that, guys. You don't want that. You guys are very lovely and supportive, but you don't want that. Bro, if that was going to be the rule, I'd have to increase my thumbs up to a much larger number than that. So guys, if anyone asked a question while the chat was going with the giveaway, I totally missed your question. So just put your question again in here if I missed your question. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Beauty in My Heart. Just checking the Instagram now. Did you DM me? Beauty in My Heart. I don't have a message from you yet, so I'm not sure if you sent it to me yet. Oh man, I feel so old. My back. This is where, like, if I was like in an incline bench right now, I'd be benching. Oh. No, the dotted lines are the 200 EMA, my friend. I know, man. Gandhi trades. You're 100% right, man. I do. I just obviously don't stretch enough. Talhaka. What's up, what's up? Yeah, I'm not going to move my price target, my friend. Even if it moves lower, it's all good. Beauty in my heart. I'm not getting your message. I don't know what your Instagram is either, though, so... I've never used volume profile before for a dude, so I can't really speak to that, man. Oh, beauty my heart. I guess that's you? Okay, cool. Can you send me an Instagram image, please? I mean, or an image of your account? I don't know why, but whatever you're messaging me, your messages are getting, like, censored out. And I have no idea why it's doing that. You go to Toronto, eh? Oh man, you know what? I don't know enough about Toronto restaurants, and things are always ever changing, so it's hard for me to recommend something out there. What is the difference between supply and demand and support and resistance? I don't know, my friend. I don't trade supply and demand, so I actually don't know what that even is. I know support and resistance though. Yacht, you're entering short. Are you looking short the NQ? You thought it wasn't a real place. What do you mean by that? Hey, if you're going to Toronto, I don't know if you have the time to, but Niagara Falls is like a pretty cool place to check out. It's like a big tourist hotspot. Thanks for sending me the image there, beating my heart. I will send you the code after the stream is done here, okay? Just because I got to go through my stuff and I don't want to disengage from the chat. Fixed range volume profile on trading view in forecasting section on the left. I'm not sure if you're asking a question or telling me something. Is it the same? Supply and demand, okay. Alright, come on, gold. Are you gonna give it to me? Are you gonna toy with me? Is this gonna be a prick for a tick type of situation here? Don't you love this? You gotta love that, eh? Don't make me turn the soundtrack into something very dark, okay? Give me my TP, man. Otherwise, we're going to turn on some dark soundtracks here. First time catching you here. Could you give a quick breakdown of your strat or link to content that explains it? Thanks in advance. Dumbledore, I mean, high level, I'm a price action trader. Levels, opening print type of deal, market structure, multi-time frame analysis, top-down analysis, and I have specific approaches to how I trade every session differently. That would be kind of my answer to you, my friend. Yeah, Riello. I guess why are you telling me that? Fixed range volume profile trading forecast on the left? Is there a reason why you're making that comment? I don't really understand. Yacht, I mean, it's not a great trade yet. What's your strategy? I just answered it earlier. Kessa Van Danu. Pain theme song always works. I know, right? I was like contemplating on that. For those who do not know, this is the Pain theme song that the person in the chat just mentioned. You're asking if NQ is long now. Have a look, please. I can see it on my left-hand side. Is there a reason why you're thinking we're going to go long? Are you looking for a resistance flip support type of deal here? Yeah, I don't use the anchored VWAP, but yes, I've heard people who use the anchored VWAP as a strategy though. Well, I'm already playing the Pain song, guys. I can't switch to the Orochimaru song now. Champions League song. So for me, this is where, like, you know, for like those who ask about like moving stops to break even, I don't move stops to break even, but like, let's just say you were in a short trade and you took the exact same entry as me right now. Generally speaking, you would move your stop loss to about probably here, like this spot right here. And the reason why, it's more so just from a structures perspective, right? Like I would look at it as, if I get stopped out there, then likely maybe it's not going to respect structure and it could just continue going higher. That would be the reasoning for it. But just letting you know. I'm not moving my stop loss though, but I'm just letting you know that's essentially what that is. So that structure on the NQ right now, by the way, guys, that I think Nicola that was talking about, we're bouncing off that same channel structure that I talked about earlier. So if you guys remember what I said, I would look for like a higher low to see if we can form. So let's just see. There's still about 58 seconds left of this 5-minute bar close. If we can close bullish here, then maybe we might have an opportunity to continue moving higher here on the NQ. But it'll be quite predicated on that though. And then someone asked about. I'm going to switch my soundtrack back, by the way, now because I'm not going to listen to that. In terms of the gold trade, so I had mentioned this during the chart review, so I'm not sure when you hopped on the stream here, my friend, but on the chart review I did say that I'm bearish on gold and that I'm looking for us to hold below 4336.6, and we kind of came up and we kind of failed this area 4336.6. That's essentially where we failed. So the fact that we held beneath it and then we started putting in this bearish push beneath the 200 EMA and the hold beneath the 4333 here, that's why I kind of took my short. So from a price action, market structure, that type of deal, the short just looked good for gold, so I took it. Pain did dry so bad. Yeah, man, that was rough. I know this happens, but you know what? It's all good. So you know what? Sometimes some people do in these moments where they're just like, okay, what do I do? I'll tell you, like, depending on how much size I have on, like if this happened here, like let me give you an example here. If this candle happened and I was like, let's say I had a lot of size on, after the close of this candle, I would probably move a stop up to this point, right here. Oh shit, sorry. Up to about like right here. I would move a stop there, and I would move a stop, like not the whole position, but like let's just say I had multiple contracts. I would move the contracts that I would normally trim as a stop loss up here, so that I'm not being a prick for a tick, so that at the very least, if I get stopped out, I can trim some contracts off there, or it hits my PT either way. And then for the last runner, I would hold and see if I can actually get the full TP on the given trade. But that's how I would usually manage if I had multiple. And this would honestly be a good point where, structurally speaking, it would make sense to move your stop loss here now. From a 2-minute perspective. Like right here. It's exactly the spot I mentioned earlier, right? I drew the line here earlier saying that if we don't hold structure here, then it's going to fail. So from a market structure perspective, not because of the P&L, moving stop loss here right now makes sense. And it makes sense because structurally, we're moving it for that reason. Not because of the P&L, but structurally. So we'll see if we get follow through or not. Sometimes the ways that we can also manage these trade setups is, let's just say that you don't want to take TP here for some reason. Maybe you want to push for lower. You can always just kind of shift your stop loss as we kind of create structure down and just move your TP. And that's assuming that you're the type of trader that wants to like capture the bigger move. But I'm content leaving it here though. When gold rejected 200 EMA, which part? Because we rejected it multiple times. 200 EMA, I like the 2-minute, I like the daily. I was too young, man. When the Vancouver Grizzlies are around, I didn't really do much, to be honest. Yeah, I've been to one basketball game at the Grizzlies. I can't remember how old I was. Do I think my original short's going to play out? We'll see. Price will tell me what. I don't like to predict markets, guys. I know a lot of people have that notion thought. I don't. I moved my stop loss here for a reason. Oh, sorry. There. I moved my stop loss here for a reason, right? So we'll see. We get follow through, we should get follow through now. If we don't, I get stopped out. I'm good with it either way. Nicola, absolutely. That's exactly what I do. Watch price action, react to it. All right, chat. I can see some banter there. Be nice, guys. Be nice. We're all friendly here. Yeah, so many different ways you can manage this trade, right? Like I said, right? You can keep moving your stop loss, and you can hover the lower highs as you make your way down, and move your TP. I'm very content that I'm okay, just taking my profits here. Again, like I said, I just move accounts, right? That's how I ensure that I don't get too greedy, and I manage my losses accordingly as well, right? Yeah, guys, don't play nice, guys. Play nice. Don't be mean. just realized that I'm still on the 1 minute time frame from earlier. I was gonna say these candles look really weird to me right now. That makes a little bit more sense. There you go. Heikinashi. I've never used them before. I don't know how to read them. Do you trade Heikinashis? Well, looks like I got stopped out. So there you go. We took a stop loss for 3.9. Target was literally, what is that? 0.4 away from TP, but it's all good. It is what it is, my friends. Again, this is one of those things where, like, if we didn't move the stop loss to break even, we just accept the risk for what it is, then we could have just let that trade play out and see what happens. But I'm content. I'm okay with moving. I'm content from a structures perspective, taking it there. But we could still continue though, so we'll see what that does. Are you Viet Alan? No, I'm not. I'm Chinese, but I tell people I'm banana just because, you know, Asian on the outside, white on the inside. NQ still playing games with our hearts, eh? Y'all gotta calm down, man. Stop bickering in the chat. We're here fostering a learning community. Learning community, guys. We're here to learn. We're here to chat. If you guys can't be nice to each other, I will remove you from the chat. I wanna foster a culture of learning. Nicola, Garrett, I'm giving you a last warning, guys. Just chill. Just chill. We're here to learn. We're here to trade. We're here to chat. We're not here to banter. You guys can take that offline. Grab each other's Instagrams and have at it if you guys want to do that. Jake, man, don't say that, man. You're gonna add to the fire. Holy man, 6 minutes already and the London session's gonna open. Where does the time go? So just so you guys know, on this account, I'm like just down, what, $100, $150 on this account now? Because I took an L earlier. I took a small win now. So I could still keep trading. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this account. I'll flip it to another one, but that's essentially how I rotate accounts a lot of the time too. Like I'll take 2 trades, I move to the next. I take 2 trades, I move to the next account, right? So, I'm from Vancouver, Canada, man. You know the reason why is, guys, that I usually don't get too caught up? Like, you know how there's a lot of times people in the chat will say things like, Alan, why don't you do this? Alan, why don't you do that? You know, and I respect it. I get why, but I think that a lot of times we all have a lot of our own strategies and a lot of our own thought process as to why we take the trades that we take, and we just got to respect that, right? If you offer help and they turn it down, it's all good. Take it for what it is, man. There's no point taking it too personally. That's what I mean by a lot of times I say just relax, guys, just because like, oh look, my TP actually would have hit. Right there, guys. TP would have hit. TP would have hit. So if there's a lesson learned here, and like I said, I'm very okay. Okay, I'm okay that I got stopped out and I moved it there, but this is the reason why. And I think for the loyal followers on the stream, you guys know I never move my stop losses. Like I don't. It's not my thing. And this is a great example of if I didn't move my stop loss, I would have just gotten my PT. So again, for all those new people who are hopping on the stream, if you wonder why Jake and myself, and I want to say the others too, why we don't move our stop losses to break even, this is exactly why. I'd much rather see my position that I risked fail than suffocate my trade and not allow a good move to take place. So anyways, in the end of the day, the TP would have hit, would have been a 1.5 hour trade. I moved my stop loss because I thought that this 2-minute structure was it, but it looked like what it really needed to do was wick me out here first before going, which is okay. But hopefully the education around this helps though, guys. Because again, like I said, sometimes I take trades, sometimes I can't. And when I can take a trade, hopefully you guys can learn from it. And even if I don't, hopefully the trade thesis, you can learn from it. I think someone in the chat earlier said, Alan, I think we're going to hit the lows. You should move it all the way. And could we still hit the lows? Maybe. But imagine this. Just imagine this thought process. Imagine I move my target all the way to the lows because someone said in the chat, and then it doesn't hit the lows. Am I going to get now mad at that person? Doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I chose to listen to that person. And that's the reason why I always make these comments, is that we as traders all have different elements of strategies to find that outcome. And it's okay that we have a difference of opinion. I think in the end of the day, it's like, if you know that you're confident and you're successful at what you do, that's good. I think it's good to be open, not arrogant about trading, guys. Like, that's the reason why, like, I know that sometimes we'll bicker, but like, we are not against each other. As retail traders, it's the market. The market is the opponent, so to speak. Well, technically your inner self is your opponent because you're half the time you're fighting your own mental psyche, right? But we all have different methods, different ways, and that's okay, right? I have found my success in trading the way that I trade. And if there's something that you can take away from each person, that's great. And that's what the hope too, right? Some of you guys have been trading longer than me. And you might come to the table and say, well, Alan, I've traded longer than you. Have I got nothing to learn from you? But I think that that's a really fixed mindset to have. I think for myself personally, I like to go in and come up with an open mind and say, you know what, maybe you've got something to offer. If you don't got anything to offer, all good. I walk away. Each their own. If you got something good to offer, I'm going to steal it shamelessly and be like, thank you very much. I will add that to my trading style, right? So anyways, hopefully that kind of helps you guys, my guys. We're a minute away and the session's about to open. And before the session opens here, just to share with you guys, because I know you guys are always very curious about how some of the payouts and things like that work. For those who are new following, these are the payouts that I took over the past week here on Take Profit Trader. As you can see here, June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, those are the payouts I took in the last week. And that's the reason why I like Take Profit Trader, because I like the daily payout options. So anyways, just sharing that. I know sometimes, even like last time, I think one of the streams we had, was it last stream or the other one? Someone was like bickering at me and saying like, oh, you're a scam, you didn't show your P&Ls. And it's like, I don't know if I should really care about that, but sometimes I do share because I know it's important to people, just for like transparency, because there is a lot of crazy people out there. But yeah, anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. Alan on Lucid, did you get payout by work market or crypto? Work market, my friend. Yeah, it was the last stream, right, below? Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I find that if people get so upset about stuff, it's like, I think that's more a reflection of like your own situation more than anything. Ooh, London's about to open here now, guys. What's the NQ doing? You're almost there, Celine's. Almost there. This structured channel point seems to be a stronghold for us right now. Right now, we're also kind of like bouncing off the 2-minute trigger line here on the FF indicator, and we're trying to look like we're reclaiming back above. So this is kind of like a 1, 2, 3 setup to the upside on the 5-minute time frame on the FF indicator here. Is what it looks like at the moment. Now the question is going to come down to is whether or not we're going to be able to hold and push further. We're holding down beneath the 200 EMA now, so it's hard to say if we're actually going to follow through or not. Thoughts on the gold 1 hour candle? Oh, that's an interesting one. I would say I would watch us hold. If gold pushes down, I'd watch to see if we can hold in this area, and if we can find a smaller time frame wick up, I'd be interested in longs to see if we can cover off. But otherwise, a breakdown here, we'll see if we can fill the wick. Oh, look at that! The 200 EMA is being held. Do we take this double top NQ short? Or is this going to be a fake out? Nah, I don't think I'm going to do it. I was looking for 400 thumbs up for that next giveaway, but we haven't gotten it yet, and it is already midnight, so I do have to log off, gang. Thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks for tuning in, guys, today. Like I said, in the near future, I will see if I can extend these sessions further out into a later period. For now, this is kind of best I can do, especially as I'm going into my busy Monday with business and work. But yeah, I hope you guys have found today helpful, educational, and just overall good fun. But I do appreciate it, though. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. No, I'm not full porting. I am not full porting. Okay, but you guys have a wonderful night, though. Okay, guys? I will see you guys tomorrow on the stream. Catch you guys later.